There's a common misunderstanding about quiet people. From the outside, they can seem distant, reserved, hard to read. Sometimes people assume silence means there isn't much happening inside, that quietness is emptiness, or shyness, or a lack of confidence. But often, the opposite is true. Quiet people are not empty. They are full, just privately. While conversations move quickly, their attention lingers on small details. A slight change in someone's tone, a moment of hesitation before an answer, the feeling in a room that nobody names out loud. They notice pauses, energy shifts, unspoken emotions moving beneath ordinary words, things others pass by without realizing. And because of that, they often feel more than they show. Not because they are hiding, but because their experience happens beneath the surface. Sometimes, while everyone else moves on from a moment, a quiet person is still processing it, still understanding what was felt, still connecting meaning to emotion. Their mind doesn't rush, it listens. And listening, real listening, requires stillness. Many quiet people learned early that expressing everything they feel doesn't always feel safe. Maybe they spoke once and weren't understood. Maybe they shared something important and it was dismissed too quickly. So emotions became internal experiences, observed, processed slowly, carried silently. Not because they don't want connection, but because their inner world moves more slowly than the outside world allows. And slowness, in a fast world, can feel invisible. Sometimes they replay conversations later, thinking about what was meant rather than what was said. They notice the emotion behind words, the intention behind silence. And long after a conversation ends, its feeling can remain with them, not as overthinking, but as depth. Sometimes they feel unexpectedly exhausted after social situations others describe as easy, not because people are bad, not because they dislike connection, but because constant interaction can feel like emotional noise. So much energy, so many signals, so many feelings moving at once, and their nervous system absorbs more than it shows outwardly. Being quiet is often mistaken for weakness, but quietness can also be sensitivity, and sensitivity is a form of awareness. It allows someone to notice beauty deeply, a tone of kindness, a peaceful moment, a small gesture others overlook. It also allows them to recognize pain quickly, to sense when someone is struggling, even before words appear, to care in ways that are invisible but sincere. Quiet strength rarely announces itself, it simply stays. Quiet people often love deeply, even if they rarely say it aloud. They listen carefully. They remember small details. They notice changes in mood. They stay present when others turn away. Their connection is not loud, but it is steady. And sometimes, the quietest presence is the one that makes others feel safest. I used to wonder if something was wrong with me because I didn't speak as much as others. I could feel everything intensely inside, yet struggle to translate it into words quickly enough. By the time I understood what I felt, the conversation had already moved on. For a while, I thought I needed to change, to become louder, faster, more expressive in ways that felt unnatural. But over time, I realized something gentle. My quietness wasn't absence. It was depth moving at its own pace. And once I stopped fighting that, I felt calmer inside myself. If you've ever felt misunderstood because you don't speak as much as others, if you've been told to open up more when you were already feeling everything intensely inside, maybe your quietness was never a flaw. Maybe it was simply your way of experiencing the world. What if being quiet was never something you needed to fix? What if nothing is wrong with you because you don't speak the loudest or belong everywhere easily? What if feeling deeply was not a burden, but a different way of living? A slower way, a more observant way, a way that values meaning over noise. And what if the time you've spent alone was not proof of disconnection, but part of learning how to understand yourself first? Because when you understand your own inner world, connection stops feeling like performance. It becomes recognition. Maybe you were never behind. Maybe you were just waiting for spaces that feel safe enough to be real. Places where silence is welcome, where presence matters more than words, where you don't have to become louder to belong. And maybe, just maybe, there was never anything wrong with you. Maybe your quietness is simply the shape your awareness takes. Not smaller, just deeper. I will be here again soon. Until then, take gentle care of yourself.